Hello and happy Monday. We are back with a Mindset Monday live. And I think Kayla is on the move this morning. But happy Monday, everyone. Welcome to Mindset Monday, where independent patient advocates like us come together to start the week with positivity and inspiration. My name is Nicole Broadhurst, and I'm here with our co-host, Kayla Thompson-Riviere. Today, we're focusing on self-care and boundaries, and we have a really powerful quote to get us started for this new week of advocacy. So let's dive in and get inspired. Sound good? I'm going to go ahead and read the quote since you're
Go for it. I'm parking.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. So our quote today actually comes from Katie Reed, and it is, self-care is giving the world the best of you instead of what's left of you. Now, I love this. Uh-oh, my dog's barking. So I love this quote, and I love it even more because you guys know what? Katie Reed is a mental health advocate.
Oh, I did not realize that.
I know, me either, until I was prepping and I was like, let's find out who this is because I'm not familiar with Katie Reed. So you can find her at katiereed.com. My intention is to reach out to her. Stop barking. To reach out to her and see if we can get a connection going, since she is an active advocate in the mental health space. So anyway, today we're talking about this self-care. Self-care is giving the world the best of you instead of what's left of you. And that, my friends, is pretty game-changing. You know,
Absolutely.
like when you think about it like that, what are your initial thoughts, Kayla, on this?
Well, so self-care, I feel like it's just become like a buzzword, and people have either lost or distorted the meaning over time. And oftentimes it can be perceived as selfishness. But
right.
This quote that Katie put together just really nails the essence of why it's not selfishness and why it is so important. And I think another one that it parallels with is that we hear a lot is you can't pour from an empty cup.
Yes.
And I don't know about you, but for those who don't know, I'm a mom of babies, and it's a really tough time of life. And I hear a lot. I've heard often in the mom community, oh, you can't pour from an empty cup. But yes, you can, because I'm doing it. And so this quote to me helps to challenge that mindset, because that concept, you can pour from an empty cup. It's like, well, yeah, of course you can get up and still do the things you have to do to take care of your children or whatever in your clients as we apply it to advocacy, but not as well as you would be if you stopped to make the time for yourself first. Because when you don't prioritize that self-care, this is what you end up with. You give the world what's left of you as opposed to the best of you. So I love it. Just really, this quote really spoke to me. We actually, I guess we could say, advocated for it to come up in the rotation because it was supposed to be last week's. And if you recall, last week we actually substituted a previous recording, and so we were going to skip to this week's, but then when I went and looked at the quotes that Nicole had lined up, I was like, no, we gotta have this one. We gotta bring this one forward.
Love it. Me too. I was super happy when you said that. I was like, absolutely, we'll just keep doing it and we'll be just fine. I love this. Hey, Angie, great to see you this morning. She's loving the community. She's loving kicking it off Monday mindset with us. We're glad you're here. Yes. So prioritizing self-care, right? Because I know, again, so much of this seems like a cliche, but what I've learned about cliches, Kayla, is that they bother me because they're so true most of the time.
Yeah.
You know, they're a little bit annoying because I don't necessarily want them to be true, but they are. This is another one, right? We get on airplanes and they tell us all the time, put our oxygen gun first so that we can breathe, and then we can help others. And
Right.
this is self-care. I cannot do my best work, give my all to those I love, show up as the best me if I'm not taking care of me. Like, it is impossible. Like you said, yeah,
Yeah.
sure, I can pour from an empty cup, but you know what? What comes out of that empty cup is nothing.
It's the sludge at the bottom.
That's right. That's right. It is the sludge at the bottom. That is great. And nobody wants the sludge.
Nobody wants the sludge.
Nobody wants this. Or, oh, goodness, that was bad. I just had the thought. My sister and I always said, I don't want the last drink that's always backwash. Right?
Right. Yeah. Don't give the people you care your backwash.
That's right. That's right. You love them. Treat them like you love them, right? Treat you like
Give
you
them
love
a nice,
yourself.
hot, fresh cup of tea.
Or coffee,
that you know
whichever
you
is
want
your
to give
beverage
them.
of choice. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. I think it also speaks to our ability to focus and show up with clarity and compassion, because we all know this work that we do in our lives is hard. It is hard work. Advocating for others in the healthcare system is just freaking hard. So if we aren't taking care of ourselves, then we're not able to show up and advocate with as much clarity and compassion. We tend to show, I don't know about you, but for me, if I'm not taking care of myself, I typically show up with exhaustion and frustration, not clarity and compassion.
Right.
And that's not good, right? Frustration and exhaustion don't get us.
And let's get real for a minute, people. Your clients are not hiring you for frustration and exhaustion. They have that already. They are hiring you for calmness, poise, and to be able to handle these challenging situations. So if you want to stay in business and get referrals, it's even more important.
Right. So true. So true. Okay. So this is great. It's wonderful to talk about, like, what does that mean? But what does that look like in our daily lives? Right? Like, what does this really look like in our daily lives? So I'll kind of share a little bit about what it looks like in mine. In my life, it looks like I take about 15 to 20 minutes every morning to breathe, to review my schedule, to look over the priorities on my to-do list and really get focused and clear on what my goal is for the day. And I'm going to tell you guys, I don't know about you, Kayla, but I only have 3. Like, I have 3 things every day. The power of 3 in my life. I really need to do some digging on that. But I have 3. And if I can get all 3 done, that is like an outstanding day. If I get 2 done, that is a great day. And you know what? A successful day is if I get 1 of them done. So for me, it's taking that time to get really clear on my goal for the day and making sure I understand it. Because if I don't understand it, then there's no way I'm going to be able to get through the day with the next step that we were going to talk about, is like the boundaries around this, right?
And
like,
tell us what happens when you skip that.
Oh, geez. So I think,
because I know you've shared it before.
Yes. So I think when I think it happened just 2 weeks ago, I showed up on a Monday and I was like, what? That's how I feel when I don't do that. Because I don't know where I'm supposed to be. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I feel like I'm chasing.
You haven't gotten in the right frame of mindset for your day.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So that's what I need to show up as my best self, is to take that 15 minutes, 20 minutes every day and get clear, right? And calm and focused. The other thing is that, and that can look like, what is that for you? I don't know, but you can like spend some time really thinking about what that looks like for you. Good morning, Cassandra. What does that look like for you? What do you need every day so that you can be focused and clear and calm about attacking the day? And I think that's different for everyone.
Yeah, and getting yourself in the proper mindset for the beginning of the day is absolutely important. For some people, they're also thrive when they have some sort of an unwinding routine at the end of the day. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about this stuff, guys. If you're feeling like this is something you're struggling around, especially like healthy ways to unwind, I did do a podcast episode about that in October. So go check out How to Survive Healthcare on whatever major podcast platform you use, and you can find more resources on that there.
Love it.
But certainly the takeaway I'm getting from what you're saying, Nicole, is that this ties into one of our other pillars of prioritization and intentionality. And I think that just really rings true. Like, if you are going to run a successful business with your mental health intact, plus all the other maybe even arguably more important aspects of your life, because I don't know about you, but for me, family comes first. If you're going to juggle all of those things, you can't do it without a plan. You can't do it without intention. And you can't do it without prioritization. It just won't work. I'm laughing because there's this really interesting TV show on HBO called How To with John Wilson. And it's kind of a documentary, but it's like also a comedy. This guy, he's hilarious, but he does, the entire thing is like B-roll footage in New York City. It's so good. Check it out if you haven't. But he does one of the episodes he does, I think in his second season, is how to be spontaneous. And he goes around and he's like talking to people and interviewing them about like how to be more spontaneous, because his whole life he's been very like organized on a calendar and regimented. And really what it comes down to at the end of the episode is like his trying to be spontaneous, he ended up not being able to do any of the things that he wanted to do. And he really, like, through this comedy documentary, very clearly illustrates the reason why spontaneity truly is a myth, in my opinion. Like, if you want to get stuff out of life, it doesn't come through spontaneity. It comes through prioritization and intentionality.
I love that.
So if you don't believe me, that's a very funny activity to go learn how to.
I may have to check that out later.
It's a great unwinding show, so you're welcome in advance.
Yes, I love it. Oh, look, I love it. Angie's working on this. She's working on scheduling self-care time, working to be a time ninja like Nicole. I love this, Angie, for so many reasons. So many reasons. But I love what you just said, scheduling the time for self-care. So this kind of rolls into the other piece of this pillar, which is boundaries, right? It's really easy and nice to say, oh yeah, I'm going to take care of myself. But if we don't actually schedule the time and set some boundaries around that time, what happens?
Nothing.
That's right. Nothing happens, right? I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to do some self-care. Look, y'all, got to get really serious about this and make this a non-negotiable. Okay. In quarterly planning, I always talk about this when we get down to creating our time blocks every quarter. And by the way, quarterly planning is coming up in 2 weeks, Friday, December 13th. So if you're interested in that, drop a comment. Let's get you scheduled to join us there for that. We're going to do this and we'll talk about what this is. It's non-negotiable time, y'all. This is the stuff you put on your calendar before anybody else gets access.
Yes, period. Yes. Because guess what, guys? A goal without a plan is what, Nicole?
A dream.
Yes, I was going to say a wish, but either way.
A wish. Okay, a wish, a dream. Yeah, something Yes. Yes.
If you tell me you've got a goal or this is a thing, first of all, don't say you want to do it. Okay. Well, I want to do a lot of things. Are they happening? Absolutely not. They are just dreams and wishes. But I know that because I've already budgeted room in my calendar for the things I am going to do. You know, that was one thing. Yoda got that right. Okay. Do not
Mm-hmm.
try.
There is
Do
no
it's
try. That's
it's
right.
yeah, it starts with the language. And because once again it all comes back to mindset, what your life is and what it is going to be, it's really filtered through your perception. And that sounds a little crazy at first, but like you can literally take any situation, especially one that you felt strong negative emotions about. Let's just picture something that happened to you recently that you were like, oh my God, this terrible thing happened to me. And if you take a step back and turn the camera angle and look at it from a different direction and just look at the actual events themselves without allowing yourself to have your emotions to it, you can start to see how maybe it didn't have to feel as big, bad, and awful as you made it out to be. And that is the power of perception. And immediately, a lot of times for when I talk about this with people, I get a couple reactions. And number one is, how dare you say that? Like, no, my reality is true. Your reality is your truth. And also, you have the power to alter that to some extent in the way that you think about it and the stories that you tell yourself. And guys, again, this is why we come back
Oh,
every Monday, because the mindset, like, the more that I'm doing this, we've been doing this for like a little over a year now. The more
yeah.
I'm doing this, the more real and true, like deeply true, I'm finding these things to be. It's wild.
It's kind of
Ugh.
scary, right? Like it's the more we focus on it, the easier it becomes to catch when we're drifting from our
Yeah.
mindset. And I too, Kayla, the more we do these, the more aware I am, So on this boundaries thing, I am a calendar ninja. So I'm just going to say to you all that from 6 to 8 every single morning, that is all my time. Like that is 2 hours that is uninterrupted by anyone ever. I do my walking, I do journaling, I do coffee and planning for the day, whatever that is. There's nothing that I schedule ever in that time, except for me. So sit down, look at your week, look at your commitments, figure out what are some things that you can implement to reinforce your boundaries. So it could be as simple as sticking to your working hours. Like if you
Mhm.
say you work 9 to 5, then work 9 to 5, right?
Mhm.
Saying no to non-priority tasks. I do this every morning when I look at my to-do list. Guys, there's like 150 to-dos on my to-do list at any given time. Right? I mean, come on,
Yeah.
right? I'm not alone with that. So every day I have to find the ones that have to be prioritized and set some parameters around it. I think it's really important when we do this, the balance that we can find in our lives, where Kayla, I too, family comes first. Y'all know I was traveling last week. I know it was a holiday. My dad also has surgery. It was kind of a chaotic week. Definitely out of the norm, but I still had to set those boundaries and, work within those confines of, for example, y'all got a recorded Mindset Monday last week. That's an example of us saying, look, I need to take this time with my dad and my family. Therefore, we're going to recycle a recorded Mindset Monday. The content is just as good, y'all. You've been watching. You've been watching, the content is always good. But we set some boundaries around that. So it's really important to find what that looks like for you. Look at your
Yeah,
calendar.
and
What does that look
I
like?
just want to chime in. I'm listening to Nicole say 6 to 8 a.m. is her uninterrupted time every day, and I'm just like, God, what I would give to have that.
I know, right?
But I say that to say that just because you don't have 2 hours every day you can dedicate to yourself doesn't mean that you should throw out the concept entirely. Because I microdose my self-care.
Sing it. Sing it.
So a
Sing it,
couple
Kayla.
of things. First of all, if you have any sort of a commute, I know a lot of us work from home, but if you have any sort of a commute, that is prime time where honestly, what are you doing? Like, you're driving a car. It doesn't, unless you're like in New York City, it doesn't take that much mental effort. So you can kind of change the way you look at that time and start to use that as investing in self-care. So for me, that looks like podcasts and audiobooks that support personal growth. It's mostly business stuff. Sometimes it's like relationship stuff. Sometimes I just downloaded some two parenting audiobooks because my 4-year-old is going through it right now.
Aww.
But yeah, another thing for me is that after the kids go to bed, so around like between 8:30 and 9, there is nothing else I have to do. It doesn't matter if the kitchen is a disaster, the dishes aren't done, or I have some project I was in the middle of working on for the business. Nothing else needs to be done after the kids are in bed. That's a hard stop for me. Now, sometimes I do go on and do other stuff, but I don't have an expectation. It's only if I feel like that's what I want to do during that time. I also, if I don't know if there's anybody else listening who does stay home with kiddos, but I have the privilege of working not in my home 4 days a week, when my husband stays home with them, and then the 3 days a week that he goes to work, because he's also a nurse. It's 12 hours, long days. I'm home by myself until 8 p.m. with the kids. When they go down for a nap, there's nothing I have to do. That's another hard stop for me. That is whatever I feel like doing. If it's just sitting down and eating my lunch without anybody screaming at me and watching something stupid on TV, that's a hard boundary for me. So sometimes you gotta get a little creative. The ideal 2 hours in the morning doesn't apply to everybody, but there's somewhere, if I can fit some sort of a routine in my schedule for what works for me to fill up my cup, I know you can.
Yes. And, for those of you that know, I'm like a total empty nester. So I don't have, it's not like it was when I was raising my son and I was in college and I was doing all of the things. So I can remember, thank you for bringing that up, Kayla, because I can totally remember being the listener thinking 2 freaking hours. Are you insane?
Right.
Now,
And
in
very
full
easily it can
transparency,
be like,
yeah,
well, I can't do that, so I can't do anything.
can't
So
do it
I
at
just
all.
want to
Right.
challenge that mindset. I know you can find, even with babies and young kids or teenagers, whatever, you can find 10 or 15 minutes somewhere in that day.
Right.
And you can
Right.
create something. Maybe it's just sitting in the bathroom with the door closed on the floor with your own thoughts.
Right. I love this.
But you can
I
find
love
something.
that. Yes. Yes. And not only can you, but you need to.
Yes.
Like it's like I love what you said earlier, Kayla, about the perception that self-care is selfish when it is really self-preservation.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I think that if I could carry one message to anyone that's listening, or here to this morning, it's that you deserve to survive. And that requires taking care of yourself, and prioritizing that. And it is okay, right? It is okay to say, hey, mom needs 10 minutes, right? I need 10 minutes. I can remember, I'm so grateful you brought this up, because I can remember that 10 minutes was my shower time for many, many years, because it's the only place that I was alone.
Yeah.
And it was in the shower. So, and it can work that way. It can work that way if your mind is focused on it, right? If in that
Right.
5 or 10 minute shower, you're thinking and focusing on yourself and what you need and how you're going to how you're going to attack your day and what that's going to look like, that can save you and your day and your relationships as well. And when we do this, like I said, it kind of creates this balance and a ripple effect, right? Because when the people we love and care for see us taking care of ourselves, they in turn start to prioritize their own self-care and understanding that it's important to take care of themselves. It even ripples out to our clients. I love that, my clients, I have a great base of clients that we kind of feel like family at this point. And we can have some really amazing conversations around these types of things. And, like we ask each other when I start a call with my clients, how are you? What have you done for yourself lately? To kind of get that as the norm in what we're doing. So, gosh, it improves a lot of stuff, our mood, our focus, our energy. I mean, a whole lot of things. And when we come from this place, it inspires trust. And, and these are the things that our clients need from us. So it's just really good all the way around, right?
Yeah, I just want to challenge one thing you said. You said a minute ago that we deserve to survive, and I disagree. We as humans have been just surviving for millennia, but you and I and you listening, we've been born into this phenomenal era where we really, for the most part, we're not spending our day focusing on how to survive. We're not gathering berries and chasing antelopes. We have been born, right? We've been born into an era where we get to step up into thriving and truly like enjoying life and having, I mean, look at this, the internet. This is amazing.
I know,
Like
right?
there is nothing that you can't learn, do. Like it's such a gift. Like you deserve to thrive, not just survive. And that requires attention, intention, prioritization, focus on self first and those boundaries. So please, your probably grandparents, great grandparents, what they would have given to be able to be in this position where all of your basic necessity, you just turn water on, like it's crazy. If you just stop for a second to think about like this world that we live in and then go look at the animals outside, how hard they're working on just to survive, like it's a precious gift. So please take full advantage of it because your time is ticking. All of ours is. And we only get this one go around the sun. So, all right, that's my soapbox.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. All right. Well, we're running out of time. This has been great. I love this quote. So this week, I think I'm going to challenge folks to reflect and consider what is one thing that you can change or commit to. One little thing that you can commit to in order to give the world the best you. The best you. What is that one little thing? Drop it in the comments. There'll be stuff inside the circle. We can talk about it there, but I'm really excited to hear what.
Yeah, and mark your calendars for that quarterly planning session. Nicole will share the link to sign up for that, because this is one of the areas that, and I'll be there too. And this is one of the areas that, we'll make sure we're always focused on to put that in first. If you haven't been to one of Nicole's planning events before, knock, knock, here's your sign. You need to go.
Right? Join us. It is a ton of fun and super productive. Think once, execute daily.
Absolutely.
Love it. Love it. So that's a wrap on today's Mindset Monday. I'm so grateful for this community of independent patient advocates. We hope that the quote today on self-care and boundaries empowers you in your work and your personal life this week. Be sure to share how you're applying it in your advocacy practice. And we'll see you next Monday for more inspiration as we talk about authenticity and well-being. Bye, guys.